So it'll be interesting to see what strategy everybody uses here tonight. All right, everybody is gridding up. Tyler Robertson is going to start up front. He'll have Mason Neal beside him. Brian Mansfield and Brian Burkhart are on the second row. DJ Kenner and Anthony Probst are the third row. Seventh is Drew Warren. Eighth is Jim Cook. Tom Land is ninth. Jim Johnson is 10th. 11th is Derek Turner. 12th is Mike Killenbeck. 13th is Graham Nuckley. 14th is Skylar Massey. And 15th is Anthony Stevens. And there's a couple of names in the back there. You guys know it as well as I do. Don't expect them to be at the back for very long. Guys like Mike Killenbeck, Skylar Massey, Drew Warren, Tom Land, and Derek Turner, all back there in the back third of the field, are going to be coming to the front very, very, very quickly. All right. Pace car is about to drop off. Tyler Robertson to the inside. Mason Neal to the outside will lead him down. Pace car is off. Green flag is in the air. Here they go. Looks like Tyler got a little squirrely on that restart, but he got it going pretty quickly. Just tweaked him to the right when he got down on the gas. He gets it straightened out there. Single file for the top three spots. Brian Burkhart working his way into fourth. DJ Kenner fifth. Anthony Probst is sixth. Jim Cook already up to seventh. And a name we mentioned, Skylar Massey. He's one to watch. He started in 14th. He's already picked up a couple spots on the first lap. Now the question is, can Tyler Robertson do the same trick he did last week and start building up a lead early? DJ Kenner there in the 32, currently running in 5th. Jim Cook currently in 7th after starting 8th. He got past Drew Warren. As they come down the backstretch, when they come out of turn 4, we'll take a ride around the track with Jim Cook. See what a 23-second lap looks like. You hear him just getting out of the throttle, having to ease back into it as he crosses the front straightaway, dropping back down into turn 1. Half throttle all the way through, starts getting back on a little earlier. Looks like he's a little bit faster off the turn than the 98. Has to actually back out to keep from running into the back bumper of the 98, and it looks like he might be saving just a little bit of tire there. He is not full throttle through the corners like he could be. Looks like Jim Cook is going to take it easy and try and save a little tire there. That was a lap and a half around this track and 23 seconds for one lap. Back in the back, Killenbeck starting to work his way forward. Started in 12th, up to 10th. Graham Nucky now up to 11th after starting in 13th. Anthony Stevens coming forward a couple spots as well. Meanwhile, up front, Tyler Robertson starting to open up that lead again on Mason Neal. Battle right now seems to be for about 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Brian Mansfield, Brian Burkhart are nose to tail. DJ Kenner right behind them in 5th. And looks like Jim Cook is actually starting to close up on the group in front of him again. He had been right to the back bumper of the 98. Looked like he backed off a little bit there. Not sure if it was a slip or he just trying to save a little something, but he is starting to pick up some speed again. Back up front, Tyler Robertson is checked out from the field. 0.7 of a second lead over Mason Neal, and we're only 8 laps into this thing, so about 1/10 of a second a lap faster. We'll look at some of these lap times as they come through. That last time, Neal was faster, just barely. But it looks like the last several laps, it has just been Tyler Robertson much more consistent. We'll have to see if he can keep the pace up and keep the lead going. Brian Mansfield now still up in third. Brian Burkhart in fourth. A little gap starting to form between them. Anthony Probst, as we mentioned, he is up to fifth, and he's got DJ Kenner coming on strong. Jim Cook is going backwards. Skylar Massey seems to have had an issue. Waiting to see if the caution comes out. Looks like Skylar got to pit road. Let's see what happened. Looked like his left front just clipped down on the apron. He couldn't get it under control. Drifted up into the wall, and he got it going, turned around the right way, and managed to keep the green flag for the time being. He has gone to pit road. I imagine he's going to get a fast repair and get back out here. Tyler Robertson continues to open up his lead, now almost a second. Brian Burkhart is now being challenged. Anthony Probst now up to fifth, looking to take fourth. The 98 gets a huge run up off of turn two. Gets right to the back bumper. He's using that high line, drifts back a little bit, dives down later in the corner to try and carry more momentum. Doesn't quite get there, but he definitely had the advantage coming off turn two. Looked like he was trying something new to figure out a way around, because here he comes right back to the back bumper of Burkhart. Jim Cook is in trouble. Let's see what happened to him. And looks like him and the 35 got together. The 35 just got him straightened back out. Skylar Massey now back out on track. We'll see if Jim Cook comes to pit road. Looks like Jim Cook had a little bit of trouble getting the car going again. Meanwhile, this battle for fifth and third, fourth, and fifth, as Burkhart is closed back up to Mansfield, and Anthony Probst is right there on the back bumper of Brian Burkhart. Jim Cook has not gone to pit road yet. He is hanging on. Nick Frank saying Skylar Massey is likely texting and driving. Kids today. Looks like these three right here are evenly matched, as Anthony Probst now up to about fourth. Burkhart third, Mansfield now back to fifth. We'll see what happened when they passed, and it looks like Burkhart just got way better of a run. Mansfield hopped up high. He didn't want to use this stuff up too early. Jim Cook still hanging on out there. He has gone a lap down now. Skylar Massey back on pit road. And here we go. Anthony Probst starting to look to the inside of Brian Burkhart. This battle's been brewing for a while. Let's see, lap 20. Those tires are starting to get a little bit slippery out there. We'll see which one of them has the better handle on it. Anthony Probst lost a little bit of ground there, and it looks like Brian Mansfield, his patience paid off. He let these two guys go back by very easily earlier, and Mason Neal now gets passed by Brian Burkhart. Burkhart up to second, but he is still almost 2 seconds behind the leader, Tyler Robertson. We'll have to watch their lap times as they come back by. We'll see if Burkhart saved a little bit more than Tyler Robertson, or will Robertson run away with this race again this week? Anthony Probst now looking to the inside of Mason Neal. Mason Neal is not going to want to give up that position. Once he gets inside, I imagine Brian Mansfield's going to come with him. And Brian Burkhart and Tyler Robertson, the last few laps have ran almost identical lap times. No change in the distance between them. Lap traffic now coming into play for Robertson. As we hit lap 24, he'll be coming up on Graham Nucky here in just a moment. There you see Graham coming into view. Lap car, the number 5 lap car, Graham Nucky hops up high, lets the leader by easily. Brian Burkhart will be coming now, and Anthony Probst will be coming with him. Derek Turner about a straightaway ahead of the leader right now. Some of these guys probably hoping for a caution sometime soon, but as they spread out, as we mentioned, highly likely it's going to stay green. Tyler Robertson now, his lead is down to 1.7. Burkhart really starting to reel him in every couple of laps. He makes some big gains, but now he's about to have Anthony Probst back to the back bumper, and Mason Neal is on pit road. Could be the start of green flag pit stops with their the way their tires and fuel, or the way their fuel mileage is set up. They will have to stop at least once, probably twice. Brian Burkhart in second, and here comes Anthony Probst at lap 29 trying to get around to the inside. Looks like Burkhart's going to hop up high. He's not going to fight him too much for second. I might stand corrected. Burkhart into the wall just barely, but he is going to fight to try and hold on to second place here up on the high side. As they come around, Mason Neal coming back off pit road. Burkhart drops back into third. Mason Neal on those fresh tires will easily be able to get back by Burkhart here. Tyler Robertson, the leader, has given up the lead to come to pit road. Anthony Probst now assumes the lead. Brian Burkhart to second, Mansfield to third. They might have to 3-stop this if they don't stretch it a few more laps. We'll have to wait and see if some of these guys can make it a little bit longer. As the 11, Brian Mansfield comes to pit road. Burkhart and Anthony Probst are still out. If they can go another 3 more laps, roughly 3 more laps, they can make it on 1 more stop. Some of these guys will have to stop a second or a third time. And it looks like Burkhart's going to come to pit road. Anthony Probst stays out. Tyler Robertson coming back off pit road. Anthony Probst staying out still. We'll see if he drops down pit road this time by. He does not. I do believe he'll be one of the few that can go the distance with one more stop here. Plus, if he gets a caution here, he could end up trapping several of the fastest cars out there a lap down. He's got to be hoping for a caution soon. He goes by the pit road entrance again. DJ Kenner dropping to pit road. Jim Johnson now to second. He's stayed out so far. And looks like Mike Killenbeck is the only other car that has not been to pit road yet. DJ Kenner, Drew Warren both on pit road now. And caution is out. Looks like Skylar Massey had a problem. Oh, he just got too low trying to get to pit road. Came up and got the 8, and I can tell you that completely benefits Anthony Probst, Jim Johnson, and Mike Killenbeck. All three stayed out. They have not been to pit road. They're going to get to pit under caution. It's going to trap a large number of cars at the tail end of the lead lap. Oh, snap indeed. All right, Anthony Probst coming to pit road. Jim Johnson coming to pit road. Mike Killenbeck, all three come to pit road. Skylar Massey is back on pit road as well. That puts, let's see here. We'll have to wait for scoring to update and everybody to get back into their positions, but that should put these three guys, Anthony Probst, Jim Johnson, and Mike Killenbeck, will be at the front of the lead lap, but they should line up right behind the rest of the field, putting everybody else at the tail end of the lead lap. Skylar Massey now coming back out. I'm really surprised I did not see any of these guys that had just came in at least drop off and top off on fuel. These caution laps will help them extend. They might be able to now make it one more stop, but these guys that stayed out, they definitely have an advantage here. Don't forget to stick around after the Xfinity race. We will have the Outlaws in the Pro 2 lights at Limaland. Looks like we've got the 11 came back down pit road. Brian Mansfield is coming back down pit road for some odd reason. He had no damage. I think he's just topping off on fuel. Anthony Probst in the lead, and those cars in front of him, they may get the wave around when they get one lap to go. As it stands, it'll be Anthony Probst, Jim Johnson, Mike Killenbeck, Brian Mansfield, Tyler Robertson are the only ones scored on the lead lap at the moment. We'll have to wait till everybody gets lined up, and we're just about to go green to see how they line up, because the scoring does get a little bit weird and the positioning gets a little bit weird as guys like Anthony manage to put that many cars a lap down. You can see there's your leader almost at the back of the pack. And we saw a lot of guys starting to move up the track. We talked about it in pre-race. These guys move up that track, start wearing that high side in. I imagine we're going to start seeing that high side used a lot more here. Tyler Robertson, so far the fastest one in the early going, although Anthony Probst and Brian Burkhart both extremely fast. So we'll have to see I'm wondering if Tyler can get all the way back around. And it was one thing for him to be starting on the pole, take off, and lead every lap. It's a whole nother thing to have to come through the field and catch these guys. It does look like everybody is getting the wave around. That's going to put, looks like about 5 cars currently being scored on the lead lap. We'll have to wait for that to update a little bit here. But Anthony Probst, Jim Johnson, Mike Killenbeck, Brian Mansfield, and Tyler Robertson currently being scored on the lead lap. But it looks like more than that were waved around, so we'll see here once we go green flag racing. Lights are off on the pace car. Anthony Probst will lead them down on this restart. Pace car is in. Green flag in the air. Anthony Probst gets a good jump on the field. He is going to bring him down into turn number 1. Mike Killenbeck sneaking underneath there. He gets Jim Johnson trapped up on the high side. Jim drops back in third, but under pressure now from Brian Mansfield. And they are spread out 3 wide mid-pack. Everybody's settling back down now. A lot of wild racing going on back there. Meanwhile, Anthony Probst, Mike Killenbeck right here at the front. Killenbeck right to the back bumper. Killenbeck trying to get up there and lead some laps, and these guys might want to start worrying. Tyler Robertson is starting to make his way through the field. Now scoring 9 cars on the lead lap. Anthony Probst, Mike Killenbeck, Brian Mansfield, Jim Johnson, Tyler Robertson, Mason Neal, DJ Kenner, Brian Burkhart, and Drew Warren all on the lead lap. 10th place Derek Turner and beyond are 1 or more laps down. Mike Killenbeck there has a lapped car right in front of him now. As Mike Killenbeck goes backwards a little bit, Brian Mansfield is chasing down DJ Kenner. DJ is not on the lead lap at the moment. And now we're only showing 5 cars on the lead lap as Mason Neal has gone a lap down in the 8 car. So Tyler Robertson is the last car on the lead lap in 5th place. He's also 4 seconds back from 4.2 seconds lap back from the leader, so he's got a lot of ground to make up. Skylar Massey has ducked back onto pit road. We'll have to wait and see what's going on there. Skylar not having a good night. Jim Cook, he started in 8th. He is now back to 12th, but he is starting to work his way through some of these other lap cars, trying to chase down Tom Land. Tom just 2 seconds in front of him. There is the Missile currently running in 11th. Derek Turner currently running in 10th. And you know, Anthony Probst really, well, now Mike Killenbeck has managed to get back to 2nd, and a huge shout out to that 4 car. He started in 12th, he is up to 10th. Anthony started in 6th, he is up to 5th, but Mike Killenbeck, through some great driving, great strategy, great conserving the car, has got himself up here to 2nd, and he is just as fast as the leader right now. He's been very smart about not battling with a lot of other cars, and it is definitely paying off here. And next time by will be the halfway mark. Good time to remind you to hit the share button so these guys can get some recognition, get some people watching them. Don't forget to like and share on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, the new website, and all that other fun stuff. Killenbeck gets right to the back bumper of Anthony Probst and then just backs off. I think Killenbeck might be employing a strategy of conserving the tires every few laps, just backing off a little bit, because he can run back up to the leader just about any time he wants to. And about every third lap, he drops back. Whenever Brian Mansfield starts to get close, he takes off again. Here comes Mansfield. Let's see if he closes, or if he can take back off again and get away from Mansfield. Tyler Robertson, the early leader, 7 seconds back right now. He was 4 seconds back, so Anthony Probst is definitely showing he's got the car to beat here tonight. Killenbeck has fallen back a long way, 2 seconds back, and now he's got Brian Mansfield to the inside. And he scrapes the wall. Killenbeck scrapes the wall. The 32 of DJ Kenner barely squeaks by. As the 4 bounces off the wall, the 4's back to the inside, drifts up mid-corner, manages to hang on to it, but that was an exciting couple of laps, and now they got Jim Johnson right there behind him. They've brought him back into this. Oh, Jim Johnson just bounces off the wall trying. It looks like he did get into the back of DJ Kenner. He did. He did get into the back of him. You could tell he tried to check up and miss him. He couldn't. He damaged the rear end of DJ Kenner, and it damaged the front end of Jim Johnson just a little bit. Let's see. It looks like DJ Kenner has gone to pit road. He might have had another problem after that. And DJ's back bumper is stuck way up in the air. He had to stop. He might have had a bigger problem than we realized. You can tell Jim was trying really hard not to get to the back bumper and just couldn't avoid it. We'll have to watch and see if Jim how much speed he's losing. Last time by, he was actually faster than Mike Killenbeck, so we'll see if he can close that gap back down, even with that front end damage. Brian Mansfield has checked out. He is on his way. He's trying to run down the 98 of Anthony Probst, but Anthony has a 1.5-second lead right now. Graham Nucky entered the pits. He's gone to pit road, and DJ Kenner have both gone to pit road. 43 laps to go. They'll still have to stop at least one more time. Looks like Skylar Massey may be done for tonight. Had some great laps out there. I hate to see him out, but I know we'll see him up front in a Pro 2 light at Lima Land before the night is out. Anthony Probst still got a big lead, about 1.6 to 1.7 seconds over Brian Mansfield. He's not really, neither one of them is really making up any ground on the other right now. Jim Johnson, 5.5 seconds back from the leader. There is Jim Johnson, 40 laps to go now. He is up to third after starting 10th. Mike Killenbeck still having a great run. Started in 12th. He is now up in 4th. He was up as high as 2nd. And he's had a pretty decent night. He could still pull this thing off with a little bit of strategy and luck here. Tyler Robertson, our early leader, who looked to be extremely dominant, now back in 5th. Over 10 seconds behind the leader now. It looks like this second set of tires just is not working for him. He is struggling to get around as fast as he was earlier in the race. Last time by, quite a bit slower than the leaders. 0.4 of a second slower than the leaders last time by. Second place, Brian Mansfield, still trying to run down Anthony Probst. He had a hard time getting through the field, and that allowed Anthony to get away just a little bit. He's now got a lot of ground to make up. They should have one more pit stop in the next 5 to 10 laps. A lot of these guys will come down for green flag stops here shortly. The lead 3 cars should be able to stay out a little bit longer than everybody else. As you see there, a lot of these guys have been out there for only 27 laps. They can go another 6 to 8 laps easily. And some of these guys have been out there for 30 plus laps and will have to come in several laps sooner. That's what bit some of these guys. These guys at the front who've only been out there for 27 laps, they stayed out longer than everybody else that first run. 35 laps roughly. And managed to stretch their fuel just a little bit longer than everybody else, stretched the tires, and got a caution as the green flag pit stops were happening. Trapped a lot of guys at the tail end of the lead lap. Quick look through the field. Anthony Probst is currently in first. Brian Mansfield is second. Jim Johnson currently running third. Tyler Robertson has gotten past Killenbeck and now made his way up to fourth. Killenbeck dropping back a little bit after a strong early run after the caution. Killenbeck now back to fifth. Mason Neal is sixth. He was up there battling for the lead the first part of the race, but got trapped a lap down. Brian Burkhart to 7th. Drew Warren in 8th. Derek Turner now up to 9th after starting in 11th. Tom the Missile Land is 10th. Jim Cook in 11th, and it looks like Anthony Stevens has come to pit road. He gave up 12th place to drop to pit road. Graham Nucky is currently 13th. DJ Kinner and Skylar Massey will round out the field, both of them currently off track. And the lead is starting to close just a little bit. Brian Mansfield now. Graham Nucky is on fresher tires than the 11 car. He's going to come flying by here. But Brian Mansfield has closed down the gap to the leader just a little bit. Looks like Graham passing him slowed him down substantially as he had to move up high. He had actually closed the gap down to 1.2 seconds. Tyler Robertson now on pit road. Brian Burkhart on pit road, Derek Turner to pit road. Now we're starting to see the first run of green flag, or the second run of green flag stops. And you know, several of these guys will be able to stay out almost to lap 80. Like our leader, he should be able to stay out close to lap 80, and that is going to give him a distinct advantage if they get another caution like they did during the last cycle of green flag stops. Anthony Probst and Mike Killenbeck will have this thing in the bag. Killenbeck still out there. Anthony Probst gives up the lead. He comes to pit road. Killenbeck will assume the lead next time by. Mason Neal now being scored in third place. The 91 of Tom Land is on pit road. The 35 is on pit road. Mike Killenbeck assumes the lead, gets the bonus points for leading a lap. He'll jump out there, probably be able to stay out a little bit longer. We'll have to watch and see how long he stays out. Mason Neal, I do believe, is the only other one who is not pitted yet. In the A car, he pitted late as well. He was one of those that came back down and topped off on that last caution. Mike Killenbeck dropping low on the track. He is now going to come to pit road, get 4 fresh Goodyears, and a full tank of fuel. Gets a little squirrely, got in a little too hot, but here he comes down to pit road. That'll give the lead to Mason Neal, who is going to drop on pit road. Brian Mansfield now assumes the lead, and he's got the 98 right beside him. Here goes that battle again. Anthony Probst, Brian Mansfield side by side. They're 3 wide coming through there with the lap car to the high side. This track, extremely difficult to race side by side. Both cars are just not going to go exactly where they want. The lap car, the 5 car, Graham Nucky, he drops a little bit low, bounces off the wall right in front of the leaders. Manages to save it. Everybody gets by cleanly. That was a close call, folks. Let's take another look at that pass, see if we can see the incident. When the 5 car bounces off the wall, you see the 98 gets the run there. The 11 drops in line so they can get past the lap car. The 5 bounces off the wall, almost gets the 11. The 98 managed to get by clean, but that was an extremely close call for the leaders. Anthony Probst back to the lead. Brian Mansfield in second. Tyler Robertson has worked his way back up to third, 5 seconds back. He must have had one heck of a pit stop. Jim Johnson to fourth. Mike Killenbeck still in fifth. Brian Burkhart now in sixth. Mason Neal seventh. Derek Turner to eighth. Drew Warren to ninth. And Tom Land is in 10th. .22 laps to go. Anthony Probst is starting to open up a little bit of lead over Brian Mansfield. Brian Mansfield came into the night after the first race of the season last week in 5th place. Any finish he has in front of Tyler Robertson is going to benefit him. Tyler Robertson currently in third first in points, third on the track after winning last week. But Anthony Probst might shake things up. He was outside the top 5 coming into tonight. Top 5 in points coming in: Tyler Robertson, Jim Johnson, Michael Whiting, Brian Burkhart, and Brian Mansfield. Anthony Probst continues to open up just the slightest of margin every lap. He's up to about 0.6 of a second now. Brian Mansfield just holding on to second right now. 5 seconds back there is the car of Tyler Robertson. And Tyler Robertson is running faster laps right now than Brian Mansfield. But Anthony Probst obviously having the fastest laps out there. Actually, that time by Jim Johnson was the fastest. Anthony Probst continues to open up his lead almost a second now. 18 laps to go. Tyler Robertson continuing to try and close the gap. 17 laps left to go. He's still got 5.5 seconds to second place Brian Mansfield. But he might have another problem, as Jim Johnson is definitely running faster laps right now than anybody else on track and gaining time on Tyler Robertson. Just under 3 seconds back, picking up several tenths of a second every single lap. 15 laps to go. I think Jim might actually be able to get to third. It will be an interesting battle if Jim can get back up there. And of course, there are a few people out there that are questionable on fuel. Everybody in the top 8 should be good to go. Some of these guys a little further back might not be. Anthony Probst continues to open up his lead on second place. Brian Mansfield, Tyler Robertson in third, and Jim Johnson has closed that gap down. It is just over a second from Jim Johnson up to third place Tyler Robertson. He will get to him in the next few laps. But as you often hear, it is one thing to get to him. It's a completely different thing to have to try and get around him. Anthony Probst coming through 3 and 4. He is going to get 10 laps to go. He is also going to get some lap traffic. Looks like Jim Cook and Drew Warren directly in front of him. Jim Cook stays up to the high side. Little bobble there by Jim as they come off of turn 2. Jim way slow coming off turn 4, trying to let the leader by. Graham Nucky now on pit road. Meanwhile, Jim Johnson just flew by Tyler. He got right to the back bumper going in 3 and 4. Tyler knew he had nothing for him, just moved up the track and lets Jim Johnson go by. Jim takes third. He is still 7.3 seconds back from Brian Mansfield in second place, though. 8 laps to go. He would have to close that gap by a difference of 1 second a lap. Right now, he's 0.2 of a second a lap faster than Brian Mansfield. Won't be able to get to him. Anthony Probst, he is through most of the traffic. He's got 1 or 2 lap cars about a straightaway away. May not come into play. We'll have to wait and see. Jim Johnson still 7 seconds back from Brian Mansfield. Tyler Robertson continues to fall back. He is in 4th place. Mike Killenbeck currently in 5th in the 4 car. Still a heck of a run out of Killenbeck after starting in 12th up to 5th. Same with Jim Johnson, who started in 10th up to 3rd. And Anthony Probst, of course, started in 6th, currently leading the race with 5 laps to go. And it does look like we get the 4 laps to go. And it does look like Anthony Probst will have to contend with a little bit of lap traffic here. Of course, with all this traffic ahead of him, anything could happen. He's just got to hold on to it. He is not slowing down at all, though. Still running extremely fast laps. Unless a caution comes out at this point, everybody in the top 5 is locked into their positions. Anthony Probst will take the white flag this time by. And about to lap the 5th place car of Mike Killenbeck. Anthony Probst, heck of a run here tonight in the 98 car. He comes down the 4 car of Mike Killenbeck right in front of him. Won't be a challenge. I would be surprised if the 98 even tried to get around him. But here comes Anthony Probst to take his first wet race of the season in the Mayhem Xfinity Series. Brian Mansfield comes home second. Jim Johnson, late race run to the front, comes home third. Great run out of him. Tyler Robertson finishes 4th. Mike Killenbeck comes home 5th. Mason Neal is 6th. Brian Burkhart is 7th. Derek Turner 8th. Drew Warren is 9th. Tom the Missile Land is 10th. Jim Cook, Anthony Stevens, Graham Nucky, DJ Kenner, and Skylar Massey round out tonight's 15-car field. And now begins the celebration. I hope nobody warned the 98 about what these celebrations are like. It's much more fun when they don't know ahead of time. Somebody tell him not to go to pit road. And we'll wait to see if we can talk to the top 3 here. Okay, Chris, you got me on that one. No wings. He did not literally fly by. And the 98 slowing down to take his victory donuts. And I did see the missile go by. I am sure the missile will be right back. Great donuts by Anthony. There we go. Here comes the 35 and just nails him. All right, where's the missile? Not sure if Anthony was expecting that at all. Brian Mansfield joins us in the booth. Congratulations. Great second place run tonight.
Appreciate it, Doug. A lot of little luck goes a long way.
I think there was a little luck and a little skill. That was some smart pit strategy. The first green flag stop, staying out as long as you did.
Yeah, and then the second stop, I actually short pitted a little bit. And when I got the lucky dog, whenever everybody got called a lap down, I got the lucky dog. And when I came around with the lucky dog, I came in and pitted again for fuel and tires. So everything was fresh. It was a good race. Congratulations to Anthony. Was happy to sport the new paint scheme tonight. This is my throwback to my dad's original race car that he first raced in the 1970s. So I appreciate everybody turning out. It's a good race all around. Good race.
And looks like a good, only second race of the season, obviously, but still a great points night. You finished ahead of Tyler Robertson, finished in second. You came into the night 5th, so good bump there.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, having a good points night. I had a good clean race, 0X race. Had a couple close calls on that last round of pit stops, coming off with some slower cars and all, me and Anthony. But it was good race all around. And thank you for everybody for coming.
Yeah, and gotta say, one of your close calls was the 5 car, I believe. Graham Nucky, he bounced off the wall as he was trying to get out of you guys' way, and Anthony got by clean, but you almost got hit there.
Yeah, I ducked low and hope for the best.
Well, definitely a heart attack inducing moment, but still, you managed to pull it off. Great finish tonight, Brian.
I appreciate it, and want to remind everybody, my sponsor, Combs Family Museum, ever in the Shelby, North Carolina area. Stop by and see my buddy Phil Combs at Combs Racing Museum.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. I'm sure we're going to see you at Lima Land in a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was Brian Mansfield. Came home second here tonight. We'll see. We'll give Jim and Anthony another minute or two here to see if they come join us. Don't forget to check out Lima Land here in just a few moments. That we'll be watching some of their practice and the entire race. They'll be in the Pro 2 lights on the dirt tonight. That is going to be a heck of a night. And as always, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and subscribe on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. All of the different links for the leagues and for the broadcast, all that information can also be found on htsai.net. And it looks like the other two, it looks like Jim Johnson and Anthony won't be able to join us. So what we'll do is take a quick break, a good time to hit the share button, and go get a snack while you're doing that. And we'll be back here in just a few minutes for some dirt track racing from Lima Land. Don't go anywhere.